Hi YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I got rained out yesterday, so I wasn't able to do any fencing, and today it's just soaking wet out there, so now I have to wait, but it's okay. I watched a excellent movie. I like movies that are like medieval or oh gothic type movie, the storyline, the history of that history, which a lot of it was hidden, and a lot of people were getting into the craft, their crafts, I should say, as far as controlling other human beings. Um, anyway, I watched this movie called Arn, Arn, the Knights Templar. It was under drama, fantasy, and it really is a love story. It's what I found most incredible about it is it was made in correlation with or not just correlation, they correlated together was the Norwegians, but it was mostly Swedish speaking uh, society, and then there was some Aramaic in there and some Danish, and it was mostly English, but it had the subtitles, and so mostly having the Swedish subtitles. And I was raised by a Swede Finn guy, um, noble nobleman, Mason bloodline. So the language was familiar to me. Um, Growing up around a lot of Scandinavians. And so, anyway, what was really interesting was the correlation between the English language and the Swedish language. Like, one thing was said, it was like, they said the subtitle for English said, come over here now, or something. And what it sounded like in or no, one that was just like, what's going on here? And in Swedish, it sounded like, what is happening here? I'm like, what the? And the more it happened like three, four times. I'm like, God, that's right. I knew that it was that way with the Norwegians because I knew where the Kane bloodline had went from China up into that area. But, and then I knew of my adopted father's bloodline and that clan of people, but just hearing it all together with English and then Aramaic, which is the base language, up until English all together in one movie, made it not a fantasy movie at all. And I'm not really into warring movies. I mean, in a sense, it was sort of like the times, like how Hercules or Xena Warrior Princess, that type of thing, only more realistic. And the horses being that bloodline of the big, like draft horse type blood. Um, oh, they were some beautiful horses in that movie too. But I would recommend for the language, and that's why some good people put this movie out. And I would spread it far and wide. I really would, people. I would look at into it as um not only entertainment but information. These people put information out there for us through this movie. Um and it's a good movie on top of that. So yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. It's like a 2 hour, 14-minute movie or something. So, and I paused it where I found it free on Roku TV and app. Um, but I'm sure you'll probably find it other places. Maybe not. It was made, like I say, with the Swedes, the Norwegians, and the Danes, and which is the German bloodline. Um, Basically, the same as with the English, and um, the close relation with even the Swedes. And it was really odd for me, but maybe not so odd, but being the German bloodline went in and conquered like the English. And then I found my adoptive father's name, Colleen, in England. And then, of course, they're still over in Sweden. There's only like three, four of them left in the United States, but there's more Colleens in England, and that's Swedish. So the mix of the blood in the world is very far and wide nowadays. But yeah. So anyway, really good movie, and I if I say anything more, I'll give it away. Um, it's an adventure. I think I found it underneath adventures. So I was looking for fantasies, and I had run out of ones like oh, dragon stuff and Merlin stuff and King Arthur and that type. So um I thought, well, I didn't know it was. I just saw these people with tunics on, and on the um photo for the um title of the movie, and I thought, well, that looks like medieval wear. I'll go check this out. And then it said Swedish nobleman, blah blah blah. Um, but it wasn't even like the guy it's about. Um, he didn't even know he was gonna become a Knights Templar and end up fighting in the Crusades. It was almost like a punishment, and just the whole thing, the sadness of the whole thing like that was crazy. And he was a noble person, and he did have a lot of integrity and love and concern for his fellow man. And it was powerful movie. I loved it. So if you like that type of thing, and they show you some real Swedish castles and countryside and horsemen, and um, really, really good movie. And check out their shields and banners if you do watch it when they're going to war. That type of thing are the same shields that they use on their uh, family crests. So the so-called noblemen, you know, whatever. Some of them still carried it through nobly, but maybe like one. I think we get one noble person to lead us with their soul. That's about it. Till others decide to join in, and to me this movie is part of some people's filmmaking efforts to join in worldwide and show us something. The correlation of languages was incredible. It'll freak you out. I mean, I knew these things, these things, but to actually hear it compiled, I can't say enough. It's wow. So, yeah. If you get time, Arn, the Knights Templar. Totally recommend that movie. Yeah, show people that. It's really amazing. If you're into languages, or understanding even how to read some, like scriptures that were written long ago, and how they tried to trick people with languages within those teachings and writings. This is an excellent movie to show you how that was done worldwide, and how the English language is comprised of all languages worldwide, like just some tricky, icky little thing done to us. So, yeah. Taking a natural human thing that people can do, talking without language, and then taking languages from all over the world, bits and pieces from this and that, and comprising a book to deceive people. And God talks right through that in His own language through those people unwillingly. And it's like God and Satan just sat down and wrote a book together and said, okay, you say this, and then I'll say that. You say this, and I'll say this right in there because that's how we both are like that. And so then there you go. God said, I'm not going to try and trick people with my words. And Satan says, I'm going to take your words and trick everybody. And God said, well, that's okay because the book of God is written on their hearts. They don't need a book. So there's no new books or scriptures like SJD's trying to push, he opened the book and they don't want you to know. Like, study gematria all you want. It makes sense. That's the way it was um written to deceive people and take your damn money. I don't give a shit. You want to patronize that garbage? Go ahead. The word of God and love and truth and honesty and gentleness, that's written on our hearts. We don't need a book for that shit. That's the game on their shit. And that's okay. Doesn't mean the Bible isn't the Holy Bible and our divine scriptures and writings and teachings of our forefathers aren't passed on somewhere within that. It just means that we know better anyway, so we don't care. That's all that means. So, yeah. So they can try and trick and deceive all they want. It doesn't really get them anywhere. You know, when you have a moment, then they try and keep you riled up with their yelling and their getting all excited and trying to put you in the same frame of mind so you can't think for yourself. If everything's chaotic around you and you have no peace of quiet, and I call pieces of quiet, for your own time to reflect within your own day, oh, they love that. They love that entirely. If you can't even think for yourself, like if you're raising a child and you have like teachers meetings or whatever the next day, they would love nothing more than to get you so upset that you can't function as a intelligent talking human being because you're battered like that, or whatever the situation. If you're going into a boardroom or a meeting with your boss, or whatever the thing may be, um even talking to your child, they evil mindset and people of that nature will try and keep you so upset, so hyped up in the moment. So just look outside and think about the air, feel a cool breeze or a hot warm breeze. Find a bird in the sky, something that reminds you God is there, and don't let these cretins get to you. No matter where you are out in the world, if you smile at somebody and they don't smile back, that's hard for me to deal with. But you know, it is what it is at this point. When people start smiling out there, we'll know they're getting better. That's true. Really true. Oh, SJD made a point. He's called the Camp of the Saints. Trying to call Justin Michaels evil, which I know that young man is not evil. Called him a liar, and I know he's not a liar either. Um, I've heard him not even exaggerate, but say things that are facts in a manner that a evil man trying to take money from people for doing nothing would say and do to somebody. And that's exactly what the Camp of the Saints is trying to do to that young man. So um with that said, anyway, I don't wish anybody any harm. So he was talking about people with periodontal disease as a sign of being evil, and I, somewhat believe that. And gray hair and obesity and these type of things have a tendency to reflect on how we look, at our age. How good do you look for your age, that type of thing. But people that smoke and drink coffee, you do have stains on your teeth. And kind of. But or some of us are injured, or even starving. There's kids that have been malnutrition that don't have good teeth. So, but that doesn't mean they're evil. So, and George Washington, a lot of our forefathers, I mean, look at those dentures, wooden dentures. I think that was a myth. Maybe not. But the point is, I've had health care. I have health care, but I don't have the care about my health when I go to a healthcare professional. And having been a healthcare professional, I don't appreciate that. I can't even give my opinion to a doctor and have them care about me. So when people out there have that health care or have an excellent dentist or whatever, they're truly fortunate. So some people have actually been injured when they put their life in a healthcare professional's care. You can end up being injured, and I have been several times, so I'm not just saying that. So it's always a iffy situation for me to put myself in somebody else's care like that. So when you're spreading the word of God and they want to do their evil deeds, they will do anything to stop you. That's a fact. So, um, there was one other thing I was going to say about that. Yeah, I guess I was going to go insulting somebody else that was being loud and obnoxious and totally a shitbag of a human being, but I thought, no. And a question was posed, should I pray for this person or fight back? Both. Why not? Why not say, hey, I love you, big brother, but you're out of your flipping mind just the way you speak to people or something like that. Like if I had a guest in my home, I'd be like, hey, blah, blah, but it's like, whoa, come here. And I'm like, wow. Whew. And I have opened my home to people, and it's like, okay. Ugh. It's like, hey, come here, bitch. I've been lonely for a long time. Get your little ass in here, you know? So, yeah, poor guy. I wouldn't listen to that shit. But I guess when you're staying in somebody else's house, I'd get my ass up out of there. I'd go to a homeless shelter. I'd walk into fucking town. I'd walk out into the woods before I had somebody telling me what to do, number one, or talking down to me or talking at me like that. It'd be like, you totally fuck off, with that shit. Just the way he talks to that other human being. Steve, that's low. Should try being nicer to that man. If he's not a nice man, then you should let him go. If that's the way you feel like you got to talk to somebody with that tone of voice, I don't even talk to my dog with that tone of voice. So I'm serious. Oh, unless she's outside and she's not listening because she does get a little corny. Then I'll raise my voice at her. But that's about it. No, I'm not talking yelling because he's in another way. another part of the room. I'm talking about what it sounded like. That right there would be enough for me to say, you're like, blah, come here. I'd be like, blah, okay, F you. Oh, what did I do? Oh, you didn't hear it? I did. I'd be like, hey, come over here. Living in my house, sit down. I'd be like, say hi to YouTube. Hey, YouTube, this is blah, blah. Um, Very nice persons, teach me about his culture, tell me about his family. His father died when he was 12. He's a part of our human family. Here you go. My little brother, blah, blah. You know? So, what a bastard. You know? You'll learn how to be kind to people if God's got to beat it into your heart with a sledgehammer. And that's probably a good idea. You know? What a creep. So anyway, enough dissing on somebody that I actually probably would like if it calm down, dude. It's just like Robin's been watching Ed Begley, I or Paul Begley. I ran across him quite some time ago. And those are ones I ran across and then ran from. I mean, are you not serious? Stop that damn yelling. Shh. Use your inside voice, people. You know, pretend there's a baby sleeping right next to you. You want to be pissed? Put a pissed rating on your video. I'm gonna be a dick in this video. You know, seriously, dick warning. Dive, dive. Low lives taking a dive out there yelling like that. What are you getting except for hyping up an atmosphere of people that need to be calmed down? Calm the hell down. Dude, when you do, you can lie about your goddamn book, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Or keep lying about your book and just say you are. Who cares? Who cares? Seriously. Being Satan, I'll write some tarot cards when people use them. We have this connection that's understandable. You're making your money like that, and every patsy out there that has a tarot card reading is in full understanding of that same concordance, the same understanding. So who are you fooling and who gives a shit? Why not tell the truth? Just like the players that want to talk to people, then they're in another poor country and they want to talk to people so they can try and get out of there. Maybe somebody will love them and give them a gazillion dollars. And what would you do with it anyway? You know? And these people, why not just say, hey, I am the player. You are going to love me. I am so cute. I am so adorable and joyful to be around that you won't be able to resist me. Why don't you straight up from the beginning just tell me the truth about who you are and whether I have the same ideal about you that you do? That's an individual, but maybe you will run across that one person that thinks the sun and the moon rise on your ass and you'll be happy. But you aren't going to be happy by being liars. You will never, ever be able to have a happy life. And now you're going to get me on. You'll never be happy as a liar. You can't even tell the truth to yourself, and you want to get out there and lie to everybody else. The book of God is written on our hearts, just like it was before the Bible was written. The laws of God are on our hearts, period. They want to make it look like there was no book. So what was done in the past wasn't a sin because no, no, that's not flying here. I know better. We all know better. That shit's over. So anyway, watch Arn, the Knights Templar. I think you'll love it. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a nice day.